kids do some flipping weird things, and we have a doozy today.
Oh yeah, we've got the answers to the question, what are the strangest things your kids have done? And we've got gross weird, funny weird, creepy weird, so many strange things, as well as some catch-ups with frozen Easter eggs, Lion King, Nepo babies, the works. So
And
stick
toothbrush
around.
balls. Like, really dumb. Like, shouldn't be a parent dumb.
Who is waking you up? I asked. She said, the man behind you.
Stop trying to be kind and just say it was...
She's a kid. Like, well, to start today, I have a fun Easter egg that we missed back when we were doing Easter eggs.
Okay.
So this one is for Frozen.
Right. What's with the obsession with Frozen again lately?
I don't know. Our kids have started watching it again. It's a timeless classic that will always be a Disney film. Our kids love it. What are the names of the main characters? Yes, I've written them down for you.
Hans, Kristoff, Anna, and Sven, and Elsa, and Olaf.
Well, let's just start with Hans, Kristoff, Anna, and Sven.
I figured that because that's what you've got written down.
Well, I wrote it down for you because I knew you'd need help.
Yeah.
Say it for me 3 times fast.
Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven. Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven. Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven.
Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote the story.
Hans, Kristoff, Anna.
Just, it's really cool. It sounds like Hans Christian Andersen. He's the, credited for writing
Is that deliberate?
I don't know, but it's cool. It works. So, happy Easter egg.
It's a bit of a desperate stretch. But Hans, Kristoff, Anna, Sven. And it's, yeah.
It
Anyway.
works. I think it works. So, happy
That's
Easter egg
great.
to you. I'm sure that is full. We could have done a whole episode on that. Maybe one day. Next Easter, maybe. What?
I just remembered my name. Can I go first this time?
Okay.
Going
Off you go.
first.
Yeah.
Okay, so we found on Disney the stage Hollywood Bowl musical
Yes.
things. It's like they did an Encanto one, Lion King. There's probably some others we haven't found yet. Anyway, Encanto is quite good. I thought they did quite well. Lion King was great up until
What did they do wrong? What offended you?
they did the Can't Wait to Be King,
Oh,
Song.
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Who do they get to sing? Northwest. Actually, who did they get to speak out of tune? Northwest.
Look, yes, there was a
Was it a publicity stunt? Yes, it was. Was it crap? Yes, it was.
There was some heavy nepotism happening in that.
Dear Lord Jesus, it was cringeworthy AF.
It wasn't as terrible as it could have been. Like, I was like, oh, when I saw it was her, I was like, oh, I hope she can actually sing. And then I was like, oh, she's got
Not really.
a musician as a parent. But yeah, it wasn't as terrible as it could have been. But I'm not also going to say that it was great. As a musician, I was
How about
like,
you just stop
thinking
trying to be
of all of-
nice, stop trying to be
thinking of-
kind, and just say it was...
she's a kid. Like, no, she's a kid.
Doesn't matter. There are clearly there are plenty of kids that can sing. Hence the OG
Yes.
Lion King.
Yes. That was the thing that got me, was there would have been a whole line of child stars that
Ernie Sabella as
Would have been ready.
Pumbaa still sounded better, even though he can barely walk or see or sing, than she did.
Okay, we're not getting caught up in your
Anyway,
rants today. So that's
it
your
was great.
nay.
That was my
Finish
nay.
us with your yay. What was your yay?
Mine, yay, not my name. That was my name. My yay was finally getting a haircut and not feeling like a homeless person. Sorry to all the homeless people out there.
It makes me laugh so much because people look at our kids with their little ringlet curly hair and then they look at me and they're like, oh, they've got your hair. And I was like, no, you don't understand. If Sam's hair grows any longer than a couple of inches, it starts to curl and he looks like
You're
a
making
different
me
person.
self-conscious, and I'm like,
You look great, babe.
no, it's fine. I just
cut
washed
now.
it again last night and now it's all fluffy and
Oh, okay. Anyway, well, my
But-
yay or nay?
better.
Oh, yes.
No, but when I washed this the other night, so this is way in the right direction. Sorry, keep going. On your bike.
You
What
got
have you
some self-care.
I
Well,
did.
my yay was that you came home this week.
It was debatable whether I wanted to.
Oh, rude. You missed us. No, Sam travels probably 4 or 5 times a year for work, and it was one of those weeks where
That'll probably
he
be a bit
left us for a week. And yes, my yay was just the moment he came home. The
Lived
kids
it up on the Gold
literally-
Coast.
Yeah. The kids literally ran to the door. It was like one of those beautiful moments. And I was
was
like, all
very
right,
sweet.
I'm ready to go to bed now. See ya.
No, that was very cute.
It was very cute. We actually got invited to go out that night to visit friends and hang out with friends. And I messaged and was like, Sam's literally getting back at probably 6 p.m. And I need to just go sit and stare at the wall in silence for an hour. Sorry, we can't make it.
I didn't know about that.
No, I was like, I need silence tonight. I cannot do anything else. So, yes, my yay was that you came home. My nay is, one thing they don't warn you about having kids is the mum wardrobe conundrum. So I looked at my wardrobe this morning and it is packed full of clothes.
clothes?
No, not mum clothes, just full of clothes. And I hate them all. I've got like half of it is dedicated to clothes that I clearly bought before I was pregnant or even after kid 1. But now after 3 kids, I'm like, that is probably never, ever going to fit me again. And I don't like the look of it anymore because my body is very different now to what it was before. And then the other half, I just like probably either stretch from maternity wear or I'm just in this weird like limbo. When they tell you to plan costs for when you're going to have kids and have a baby, you don't usually think to add in, I'm going to need a whole new wardrobe of mum clothes. So anyway, that's my nay, is that was not part of the plan.
Still wear clothes you used to wear before being a mum.
Just squeeze into them and pop some buttons. No.
I won't complain.
Yeah, you won't. I think our kids
Well, now
might.
that you say that, I'm the same actually. No, but
Mr. Wardrobe full of black shirts here.
yes. But half of them are like old branded shirts and crap that I'm like, I would never wear that now.
Yes.
From like my mid-20s.
Yes.
I'm like, I'd never wear that now.
But that's
Good
not
chat.
a dad nay, that's just a getting older.
Okay.
Anyway,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Well,
What are we doing today?
I put the question out there. I was like, what is the strangest thing you've witnessed your child do?
Lick everything.
There's a couple of licking ones.
Yeah.
There were so many good ones that I couldn't pick enough. So this is going to roll into next week. So if you're listening this week and are like, oh my gosh, I've got some funny stories, send it in because I actually already have half an episode next week planned based on the ones that we couldn't fit in here because we don't want this episode to go forever. So let's just go 1 for 1, I reckon.
Okay.
And you start.
Okay,
We started with ours.
so hang on. The 3-year-old yesterday
Yeah.
were late to school, so I had to go to the office and sign them in. He's literally standing at the reception door, the window next to the reception door, just face up against the glass and just wiping it down and just leaving this massive slobber mark. You freaking weirdo.
That's our germaphobe child.
Yeah.
He literally won't touch stuff if he thinks it's dirty.
If he gets like dirty, sticky hands, he hates it. But he'll go and
wet
lick.
feet. He'll freak out if his feet are wet. But yes, he will go and lick the car or lick a door. Or
Anyway, okay.
so when I put it out there, I put some of our stories out there to get it started, so that people didn't feel weird sending theirs in. So
let's go.
the one I put in was not the time we found our 3-year-old daughter pulling the heads off all her dolls and lining them up next to the bed in the dollhouse because that's where heads go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Being like, oh my gosh,
You overthought it.
I did not. They were next to the bed. I was like, that is psycho.
Just
Anyway,
unlocks Beck's dark side. My 3 daughters sat with 2 young boys and convinced them that the cockroaches crawling up the drain pipe tasted like M&Ms. Yes, they ate them. That's one. No.
well, it gets better because this same parent sent in another story. Same parent and kids. The girls were sitting at the fence talking to a new neighbour, explaining that the mini biscuits she should eat are only shaped like little bones because mum only had that cookie cutter.
As in dog bickies?
Yup.
I used to do
Those
that.
girls are...
Apparently, I used to do it as a kid.
Yeah, those girls are, like,
That's
dangerous.
evil. Yeah.
They're, like, scheming and...
Yeah, that's That's that
getting
dark
kids
side.
to eat cockroaches.
So
and
far, it's creepy
dog
girls.
biscuits.
So far, all I've heard is creepy girls.
Well, not this one. Here you get to the dirty boys.
I caught my son rinsing his hands in the blue toilet water when it flushed.
Oh no. Ugh.
I mean,
No, I've caught our
it's got some soap and detergent in it.
our 18-ish month old. He's obsessed with the toilet at the moment. We've got to keep the door shut so he can't get in there. And as soon as he touches it, you can hear me be like, no, and grabbing him and swinging him by his hands to get the hand sanitizer in the
you
kitchen.
just
I'm just
hold him
like
by his
carrying him
wrists.
so he can't touch
You
anything.
hold him by his wrists
I
and
can't
he's
imagine
just
doing that
dangling.
because that'd be like drippy and gross. Blah.
All right.
At a birthday party, my grandson did a number 2 on the toilet, jumped off and ran outside. I yelled out and asked if he was going to wipe his bum. He yelled, "I did it yesterday." Mate, you got to do it every time.
Literally though, like I said to the 3-year-old the other day, I was like, "Wait, go to the toilet before you before you put your nighttime nappy thing on for bed." And he goes, "No." I was like, "Why not?" He goes, "I did it at kindy." I was like, "I don't care. Go and pee again." "No, but I did it at kindy." "I don't care."
It's not how it works.
Found my kid drinking tomato sauce from the bottle like water.
Actually, self-confession.
You did that?
No, last week while you were away, I caught one of the kids with the bottle of honey sucking on the straight from the bottle.
I guess is what child that was.
No, it was not the one you probably think. But thankfully, it was an almost empty bottle, so they were like sitting there with it upside down, trying to get it out, and I was able to just chuck it because it was pretty well empty. But yes, I was like, great.
This is why I can't leave her alone with the kids for too long.
Yeah.
Things get thrown at the TV, honey bottles get sucked.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave again. Look at that. My son kept a dead lizard in his sock drawer because it was his friend. Happy days.
Crispy. Put it this way, I've had to throw out all the toothbrushes because the youngest decided he wanted to scrub his balls with people's toothbrushes. How old is this kid?
Hopefully not very old.
I mean, that would be
I hope
that would
you
be
found-
that would be a sensation, wouldn't it? Electric toothbrush. Anyway,
I hope they found out about that straight away and it wasn't like days later having to go with...
Dad, why are you brushing your teeth with my ball brush?
All right. My 3-year-old came and told me her 5-year-old brother had put his mouth on her mouth. When I asked what on earth he was doing, he said he was resuffocating her.
Does he mean resuscitating?
Yeah.
Okay. But
But
probably
he
would have
was
been
resuffocating
would
her.
have been resuffocating. Oh dear. Sitting on a boat watching dolphins with their babies swimming around us, my 8-year-old son dove into the sea to be with the dolphins. I had to dive in after him and stay close to him because dolphins can be aggressive if they have their young around.
Could you imagine how mad you would be? Like, we've got a 6-year-old, so 2 years older. Like, already at this age, I would expect her to know better than to jump off a boat
Into the water.
into the water just because, oh, dolphins, yay, let's go pat them. Like,
That's something I'd do. I'd jump in with the dolphins. I did. I have done before. Actually,
Yeah.
that was a turtle.
yes, but
I jumped in with the turtle.
and that was somewhere where you were snorkeling and were allowed to jump in the water. This is like, you're on a tour boat.
Well, doesn't
I
say on a tour
imagine.
boat, it just says sitting on a boat.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't assume.
Anyway, I'm like, oh gosh. I wondered why I had no eggs left in the carton, which I bought the day before. I went to wake my 4-year-old son up to find him incubating the eggs so that they'd hatch.
Oh, that's cute.
It's cute. Kind of disappointing. A little bit expensive nowadays.
Yeah, it's an expensive experiment. What are you doing? I'm waiting for the dinosaurs to hatch.
Oh, he would have known at 4. He would have known it would have been chickens, surely.
Our 3-year-old said he wanted a pet dinosaur the other day, and I said they don't exist, and he said, too bad, I want one. Don't assume that.
The bar is very high for birthday presents this year. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to come dressed up as a dinosaur. Get one of those
Get the
costumes.
inflatable one.
Oh my gosh, we have to do that. All right, locked in.
Oh dear.
And you haven't said no, so that's a yes.
Oh dear. My 4-year-old was stuffing a very wet chook into the dryer. The poor chook's clucking told me something was wrong. Luckily, he couldn't reach the plug. Roast chicken, anyone? Be like air dried. That would be nasty.
With a side of a feather, like a feathered pillow. Very lucky that. Oh man.
That's not good.
Apparently, I've been told the story that I panicked the whole family because they couldn't find me. I'd disappeared at my grandma's house. Apparently, I crawled into the dryer. Like I'd somehow gotten into the bathroom that was meant to be childproofed and crawled into the dryer and had hidden in there.
Trust you.
Probably just looks like a nice, cozy spot. All right, this is a story. 21 years ago, my oldest suddenly woke in the very early hours of the morning saying very clearly, "Mummy, can you please ask him to stop waking me up?" "Who is waking you up?" I asked. She said, "The man behind you." The blood drained from my face, but no one was there. I switched on the light. I looked under the bed. Nothing. She said, "Okay, he's gone." This kept happening at least twice a week. She said he was a tall man with an old long hat and big coat. He didn't scare her so much as it annoyed her because she was tired. She said he kept waking her up to ask if she's okay and to ask about her day. It went on for months. When we moved out, they tore the house down and found 100-year-old remains near the house. It never happened again, so I can't help but wonder if that was the person checking on my daughter. Man. That's not the first creepy story we've had like that. I've heard lots and lots about kids
Seeing things.
But that moment, I've actually had that before with our kids, putting them to bed when you've not been there, whether you've been away or just out at work or somewhere, putting them to bed, and then they look at the door as if there's someone there, and I'm like, Home Alone, just being like, oh, okay, there's no one there. Why did you do that? Man, makes you think.
What does it make you think?
I don't know. It's creepy. All right. We do have some parents in the news today. I'm gonna get you to help me read these stories.
Can't read a story yourself.
I want to include you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, this is new.
Dad's gonna look at. No, it's not. I've done this before. Don't even. Off you go. You start the first one.
USA Today this week reported that a Pennsylvania school has launched an investigation after a kindergartner brought jello shots to class and handed them out. In what has been called an isolated incident, 3 students consumed alcohol in the form of small jello shots. They were taken to hospital out of an abundance of caution where they were met by their parents.
So first up,
jelly.
Well, that's probably what they thought it was.
Well,
but
it is.
I love that the school had to issue a warning, issue that this is an isolated incident.
Promise this doesn't happen often.
This doesn't happen all the time. But okay, this is off the back
like that
of
other American school with the mum that packed the gun in the lunchbox. It's like, no, this is an isolated incident, guys. This doesn't happen often.
Thank you for clarifying. No, so this is off the back of story kind of number 2. This is only a month after a mum in Texas was arrested for giving out jello shots to 5th graders at a party. She said it was an accident, but 15 kids ate the shots and all of them reported either stomach aches, headaches, and one kid vomited and another passed out.
Well, yeah.
The police also didn't believe that it was an accident, as they had been purchased from a company who clearly labelled them, and she had tasted one herself, saying she thought they tasted funny but didn't think much of it. She posted bail and has been banned from the school grounds because it was a school party.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is 100% deliberate.
Yeah. I'm
Labelled.
like, there are some...
You're either really dumb, like really dumb, like shouldn't be a parent dumb, or
When
you
I
just
saw-
gave 15-year-olds
When I saw
Jello
that they were
shots.
labelled, I was like, fair enough if they've been in the fridge forever without the label. But then when I saw they were both labelled,
10-year-olds, right?
when I saw they were both labelled and she'd had one, I was like, there's no way, especially if they're strong enough to be causing kids to have like headaches and passing
Caution,
out.
alcoholic. It's probably just a typo.
Anyway, that was a fun one.
I got one more.
Yep.
A California wildlife center has gone viral after video surfaced of them feeding a bear cub in bear costumes. The bear was found wandering solo and they were unable to find its mother. It was weak and underweight and needed around-the-clock feeding. But because the plan was to return the bear to the wild when it's able to survive on its own, they tried to avoid bonding with humans.
Yeah, the reason that's in Parents in the News
I just think it's cool.
is, yes, it's cool, but so if you're having trouble feeding your toddler, just be grateful that you don't have to dress up in a costume to get them to eat. And then I had the thought that maybe you do. There's probably parents out there dressing up in costumes trying to get their toddlers to eat. What are you confused about? You know how hard it is to get kids to eat.
Yeah, but... Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
You were stuck on the bears, weren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
No, I had already gone to full mum mode. I'm imagining that bear cub is my child.
That's a
and-
desperate connection, but I get it. But
well, we had to connect it to Parents in the News.
yeah,
As per usual, please tag me in your parent news stories if you see something random, especially parent related or kid related. Kid fails are hilarious. Make sure you tag me in
fails
them
are
on
gold.
socials. Forward them to us. Same with your stories. When your kids do funny stuff, just send them, because the laughs, the people, we've started getting messages about, thank you, I'm so glad I found these stories. I feel so much better. This is like, and it's not like we're encouraging bad parenting. This just happens to everyone. And so we have to have our parenthood community to
Crap
be like, it happens to us too. Kids are crazy. This is a wild ride.
embrace
So
the craziness.
embrace the craziness with us and come back next week for another episode.